You see a headline like this, and your heart just stops for a second, right? A nuclear power plant attacked. It's an alarming development, to say the least. So let's get right into it and break down what actually happened at the Kursk plant in Russia and, what this all really means.
Yeah, that's the big question on everyone's mind, isn't it? A nuclear plant was attacked. How bad is it really? I mean, when you hear those words together, your mind immediately goes to the worst-case scenario. So let's just cut to the chase and get the most important facts out there first.
Okay, so here's what we know. On August 24, 2025, Ukrainian drones hit the Kursk nuclear power plant over in western Russia. And let's be super clear here. This wasn't some accident or a close call. We're talking about a direct strike on an active nuclear facility.
But, and this is the most important but you're going to hear, the radiation levels, they stayed normal. Russian authorities were quick to confirm that, despite the hit, there was no radiation leak. And, crucially, no casualties were reported. So, you can take a deep breath. Catastrophe was avoided.
So, okay, a disaster was dodged. But that doesn't change the fact that a major red line was crossed here. This is a huge escalation. Let's dig into the specifics of exactly how it all went down.
The facts of the attack are pretty clear. It happened on August 24th, which also happens to be Ukraine's Independence Day. We're talking about drones flying deep into Russian territory, to Kursk, and hitting a very specific part of the plant, an auxiliary transformer at reactor number 3. Now, what in the world is an auxiliary transformer, and why target that specifically?
Right, so this is a really key detail. They didn't hit the reactor core itself. Think of an auxiliary transformer as the plant's own internal power supply. It's what runs all the crucial systems, like the cooling pumps. Hitting it is incredibly risky, for sure, but it's a step removed from trying to crack open the reactor's main containment building. Here's where the story gets even bigger. The strike on the nuclear plant? It wasn't a standalone event, not even close. It was actually just one piece of a much larger, coordinated attack.
So on the very same night, way over on the Gulf of Finland, other drones slammed into the Ust-Luga fuel terminal. That's a huge hub for Russia's energy exports. So you can see the two-pronged strategy taking shape, right? One attack is designed to create this high-stakes nuclear safety scare, while the other one goes straight for Russia's wallet, hitting its economic and military supply lines.
And just to give you a sense of the scale we're talking about, Russia's defense ministry said they intercepted 95 Ukrainian drones across multiple regions that night. This was not some small surgical strike. It was a massive, coordinated wave.
Okay, so what happened on the ground right after that transformer at Kursk was hit? What did the immediate fallout look like?
Well, things happen fast. The drone hits the transformer and boom, it starts a fire. And a fire at a nuclear plant is, well, it's obviously a nightmare scenario. Thankfully, emergency crews got on it right away and put the blaze out, but the damage was already done. The plant's ability to generate power had taken a serious hit.
So how serious was that hit? Well, the damage was enough to slash the reactor's operating capacity by 50%. By half! That's a huge, tangible blow to Russia's power grid, all from a single drone strike.
Of course, this got the world's attention. The International Atomic Energy Agency, the IAEA, they're basically the global nuclear watchdog. They responded almost immediately. They didn't take sides, but they put out a statement reminding everyone about, and I'm quoting here, the imperative to protect nuclear facilities at all times. It was a clear warning shot to everyone involved.
So you might be thinking, okay, it's a regional attack, and thankfully there was no radiation leak. Why is this such a big global deal? Well, this is where we need to zoom out and look at the much bigger picture, because the implications are huge. First off, you have the nuclear safety angle. I mean, any attack on a nuclear plant, successful or not, sends a chill down the spine of the entire world. It just raises the risk of a catastrophic failure. Second, it's a major strategic escalation. It shows that Ukraine now has the ability to hit critical, high-value targets deep inside Russia. That changes the game. It also highlights just how crucial these neutral bodies like the IAEA are for keeping an eye on things. And finally, don't forget the economic angle. That parallel attack on the fuel terminal, that directly helped push global oil prices higher. So yeah, this stuff affects all of us.
All right, we've gone through the attack itself, the fallout, and the global ripple. So let's just pull it all together now and do a quick recap of exactly what we know for sure.
So let's run through it one more time. The main target at the Kursk plant was that auxiliary transformer, not the reactor itself. The damage was real. It caused a fire and cut the reactor's output in half.
But the key takeaway here, no casualties and no radiation leak. We also know this was part of a much bigger operation that hit a major fuel terminal. And while the IAEA is calling for everyone to be careful, Ukraine itself has officially stayed quiet on the whole thing.
And all of this leaves us with a really big, kind of scary question for the future. The rules we have to protect these nuclear sites, they were written for a different time, an era before you could have swarms of cheap, precise, long-range drones. This attack proves that the technology of warfare is changing, and it's changing fast. So we really have to ask ourselves, is the global safety net that we've all been relying on still strong enough for this new reality?